In this video, I'm doing something I have never done before on this channel. Oh my. And that is solo backpacking. There are so many switchbacks. It is so muddy. There's also nobody else on this trail. I'm definitely feeling super tired. I keep thinking that I hear voices behind me or ahead of me. Yeah, I missed the crew. This lake is stunning. There's a bunch of grouse. Oh, look at that. There's a lot of things about backpacking that are empowering, and I think that all just becomes way more apparent when you're doing something solo. Yay, backpacking. This is my show, gosh darn. Permits are on the dashboard. Car key is in my pocket. I think we're ready. Let's do this. Breath. This is not my first time solo backpacking, but it is my first time filming a solo trip on the channel. You all have asked me to do this so many times, so I'm super excited to share this experience with all of you. Solo backpacking is really fun. I think it's also kind of intimidating for some people. So I'm hoping by filming this trip myself, you all can kind of see what it's like. I guess in some ways it's not really solo because you're here. Woo. The trail that I'm on today is the Lena Lake trail. This actually goes to Lena Lake in about 3 miles, but I'm actually camping 4 miles past that at a place called Upper Lena Lake. Apparently the hike to Lower Lena Lake is pretty gentle, but then the hike to Upper Lena Lake is supposed to be really hard. Let me show you my pack really quick. In my bag, I'm carrying a couple of new pieces of gear for this hike that I'm really excited to share with all of you, and I'll talk more about those when we get to camp. My pack is actually significantly heavier than it normally is. I weighed it this morning at like almost 35 pounds, pretty full. And I'm only out for one night, but I'm carrying a lot of heavy camera equipment. I'm getting a real taste for what the videographers have to go through when they film this stuff. On to the first lake. There are so many switchbacks. Switchback after switchback after switchback. Came from there, headed there, headed somewhere up there. It's very humid out. I'm very damp. I will say that there has been a disappointingly low number of mushrooms on this trail. Keeping our eyes peeled for a mushroom. Oh, wow. Look at all these like moss covered boulders. Actually, this is a great place to pee. That's where I peed. This is the trail, and it was a little bit risky, but I just used my umbrella, which I have with me, as a pee shield. So I just opened it up and held it in front of me and squatted down and peed, and it works great. Goodbye, mossy rocks. On to Lena Lake. Look at the sun just speckling the trail. Isn't that lovely? Look at that. Oh, I am not a videographer, but that's very pretty. Bridge, 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 bridge. 10 out of 10 bridge. 10 out of 10 hike. Man, having a great time. All right, we're settling in. Woo. Golly, where are my mushrooms? I would like to see some mushrooms. Wow, this is just the most lovely hike. All right, my track record for identifying edible plants on this channel is not very good, but I'm pretty sure that this is Oregon grape. If it is Oregon grape, it is edible, but it tastes kind of bad. Lose. If I'm wrong, I like get the weird poops. And if I'm right, I just eat a not very tasty berry. Oh, check this out. So cool. This is a cool hike. All right, an obstacle. We did it. We found mushrooms. Look at them. Cute. Yay. I just found the 2 tiniest little black mushrooms. And then as I was hiking along, I looked up and I saw this crazy fungus on this tree. Looks like cat puke. You wanna see it? Look, isn't that neat? Cat puke fungus. All right, I wanna play a quick game of, is it moss or is it moldy poop? I'm thinking it's moldy poop. Let's hear your votes. At this rate, with the amount of stopping that I'm doing to like look for fungus on the ground, I'm never gonna get to my campsite. Oh, little fairy shelf, look. Sun-kissed. Now we are moving. Oh, bridge. That is such an epic bridge. Beautiful bridge. Bridge, 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 bridge. Oh, and look at this. So cool. Ooh. There's a sign for Lena Lake and Upper Lena Lake. So I just rounded the corner on this trail And I'm pretty sure I can see glimpses of the emerald blue Lena Lake through the trees here. Oh, wow. You kind of see it peeking through the trees. To my right is the trail that I'm gonna take up to Upper Lena Lake, which is where I'm camping for the night. But then behind me, this trail continues and then takes a left, and that takes us down to Lower Lena Lake. And we're gonna take a quick break down at Lower Lena Lake to refill some water, eat some food, and just generally appreciate the beauty of this lake. Oh my God. This is one of the most beautiful lakes I've ever seen. Welcome to Lena Lake. This is one thing that Washington does so well, alpine lakes. I'm actually just gonna fill my 2-liter CNOC bag here in the water and then carry it back up to that little rocky area to eat some food and kind of hang out. Water. That's 1 liter tapped. I'm gonna take a moment and drink some LMNT electrolytes. LMNT is fantastic because it helps me stay hydrated, rehydrate quickly, and it's particularly important when I'm sweating a lot. Someone told me recently that they were pleasantly surprised that LMNT electrolytes helped them poop. If you're one of those backpackers who's always like, oh, when I'm backpacking, my body just knows and I just don't have a bowel movement for days. Your body doesn't know. Your body's not like waiting for a better toilet. You're constipated. Maybe try some LMNT electrolytes to help kind of get things flowing a little bit more smoothly. Constipation is actually pretty common for backpackers, and one of the big causes is dehydration. I am gonna drink some electrolytes so that I am not dehydrated and don't cramp and I don't get a headache, but maybe you should drink some so that you poop. You go to the link, which is drinklmnt.com/Miranda goes outside, and you place an order there. You can actually get a sample pack that has all of LMNT's different flavors. Oh, yum. I'm gonna pound this, I'm gonna filter my water, and then we're gonna get back on trail because I still have 4 miles until I get to Upper Lena Lake. And the next part of this trail is gonna be a lot harder than the hike to get here to Lower Lena Lake. Yikes. Goodbye, beautiful lake. It's time to start the climb to our campsite. Here we go. There's a squirrel somewhere in the trees over here making laser beam noises, like choo, choo, choo. A laser squirrel. Imagine like laser beams coming out of its eyeballs. Cute. All right, we should probably hike. So muddy. So much of the trail is like this. The shoes are already covered. Woof. Way different than the hike to Lower Lena Lake. Way rockier, way harder to navigate. So muddy. So just way narrower. Hiking along by myself. Hiking along, no one else. If you are a bear, I'll be aware. Don't you bother me. I am not food juicy. I've been hiking up this trail to Upper Lena Lake for about a mile now, and it's definitely more challenging than the hike to Lower Lena Lake. On top of that, as you can tell, we just have no sun in here. The forest is really dense, and also there's some cloud coverage, so it's kind of this like dark, very moody Pacific Northwest vibe. There's also nobody else on this trail. Like, I have not seen anyone else since I turned. This is one thing that's often quite hard for me with backpacking solo, is that at some point along the hike, it starts being sort of lonely. I had a great hike to Lower Lena Lake, was feeling really awesome, and now I'm not feeling so great going up to Upper Lena Lake. I'm sitting on the ground in the middle of the trail. Yeah, I missed the crew. Just got a case of the SADS, that's all. We have officially left the Olympic National Forest and entered into Olympic National Park. No pets allowed, no motor vehicles, no weapons, except for these guns. I keep thinking that I hear voices behind me or ahead of me. Ultimately, I think I'm just imagining company. It started raining. Not a ton, but enough that I decided to put away the nice camera and pull out the GoPro. I have this little waterproof bag from Hyperlite on the side pocket. And then I put all the other like camera stuff into my backpack. And I have the GoPro actually mounted on my trekking pole. I still have about 2 miles to go until I get up to camp. And I think I have like 2,000 feet of elevation to gain still. All right, here we go. Pretty rain through the trees. Make it stop. A little more than a mile to go, and we'll be up at our campsite in no time, hopefully. It is so muddy up here. Oh, wow. Just walking in what is effectively a muddy stream. The fact that I still haven't seen anybody else is definitely making me feel sad. Some sunshine would help. I would love some sunshine. That would improve my mood immensely. It is officially getting very, very steep. As you can probably see. Steep climb. Less than a mile left though, so that's nice. And still nobody. This last section of trail that I came up was so steep. I keep sliding backwards every step I take. I'm definitely feeling super tired. So I'm taking a quick break to appreciate this beautiful view. I think that I have half a mile to go, but honestly, it could be more than that, and it's still quite a good amount of elevation. Oh, it is beautiful though. Okay. Oh man. Sorry. Jeez. I just got like a lot of anxiety about not getting up there with daylight still. This is me showing myself how much daylight there is. This hike is really challenging, the second part of it, because I'm just alone in my own thoughts. It's like very easy to be like, oh, I can't do this. One of the things that draws people to solo backpacking is the fact that there's no one else around. But I just really love hiking with my crew. Doing a harder hike by myself is actually making me feel kind of like emotional. So, oh, wow, is it beautiful out. See, there's our blue sky. Oop, oop, hit a bush. You got a blue sky. There you are. All right, final stretch. Here we go. I just came up some of the steepest and rockiest terrain I've ever hiked on. Let's see what this little clearing is ahead of me. I would love it if it was the lake, but I'm pretty sure it's just a little false summit. Yep, more trail. Plus side, the closest I've ever been. Here we go. Okay, I don't want to get my hopes up. There is a no open fires, stoves only sign on this log. Normally those signs are put within like several hundred feet of a campground. I sure hope we're almost there. Oh, I think it's close. I spoke too soon. Oh, come on. This looks like it should be a lake. Does that count? Meh. It is humid. I am tired. I am cranky. I am thirsty. And I want to see a lake. We're up. Let's breathe. I am a mile and a half past where I thought the lake was. There's a sign. Does this mean we're here? Yes, it does. Upper Lena Lake Wilderness Destination. Yes. Oh, this lake is stunning. Oh boy, beautiful. We made it. Time to find a good campsite. I am totally bushed. I'm gonna get everything set up. Once that's done, I think I'll be able to finally, like, properly relax. It is 5:30 now, so the sun's not gonna set for another maybe hour and a half or so. We are kind of in this little basin surrounded by mountains. It's getting pretty dark already. Enough talking. Let's set up camp. Moving the whole tent like 6 inches towards the camera. There's a huge rock underground on the other side. The rain may have just begun. Oh gosh, I really don't want it to rain. Because of the strong likelihood of rain, we are going to go ahead and cook dinner right now. I think we're probably gonna cook down here. Okay. I took off my shoes and put on my camp shoes. Definitely dinner time. Tonight for dinner we are having Fernway Food Co.'s green tamale pie. So this is a Soda Windmaster. This Soda stove is a little odd because it's actually in two parts. So this is the stove itself, and then this is the pot stand. The little like springy thing connects around base of the stove like that. I can't decide if I like that or not, but it is what it does. So we need 12 ounces of water. Put our water. Oh, yeah, we're boiling. That's for 15 to 17 minutes. Ugh, the worst part. I'm gonna cut my camera. Once my food is ready, we're gonna eat, bundle up a little bit, and probably start moving in the direction of bed. See you soon. It has been 15 achingly long minutes. Crumble cornbread pieces in there. Look at that. Fernway Food Co. does not disappoint. It probably doesn't look appetizing, but you have to trust me, it really is. Din din, and then bed. I hope you had fun too. There is something really interesting about being here completely alone. Having like grown up in cities my whole life, lived with roommates almost my whole life. Like it's different to be alone. I know it's kind of dark, but you can see blue skies ahead of me. And over here, we have this cloud coverage just sneaking in. Okay, finishing food. Those clouds have officially rolled in and it's quite dark. So I went ahead and packed up my bear can and all of my smelly stuff in there. I want to walk it some way away from camp. Okay, let's put it, boom. See you tomorrow morning. All right, food is stored away. It's getting really, really cold too, so I'm actually really looking forward to climbing into the tent. I'm going to finish filtering my 2 liters of water for tonight. I feel like I might need to use the privy. I sent a message to Rainer on my Garmin InReach, just saying like, hey, I'm at camp. My Garmin InReach is an awesome way to be able to like text people and let people know where I am, as well as have a means of doing an SOS beacon, you know, like if something bad were to happen, which truly, that is particularly important when you are solo backpacking. Okay, I think it's time to go to bed. All right, I am cozy in my tent. It is just like 8:30 now, I think, when I got into my tent and I just burst into tears. Which I'm laughing about now because it seems kind of silly, but in the moment, I think I just didn't realize how lonely I am up here. I think I'm telling you all that because I went from being like sad and feeling kind of anxious and stressed to feeling so much better. My anxiety just kind of got me. I have these little tent lights in this diffuser pocket up here. The Nemo Dragonfly tent has these 2 diffuser pockets on either side. So when you put a light in there, like a headlamp, or in this case, my string lights from Big Agnes, it just spreads out that light. So you wind up with something pretty bright, which is cool. I've got essentially all of my stuff in the tent with me right now, besides anything that smells. So I laid out my sweaty clothes from hiking. I changed my shirt, so I'm wearing something dry underneath my fleece. I put on my cozy socks, all cozied up and ready to go to sleep. Feeling a million times better. Feeling really, really happy to be out here now, actually, which is really nice. Oh gosh, excuse me. I'm gonna get cozy in my quilt from Enlightened Equipment. Basically just read my book on my phone and go to sleep. I'll see you all in the morning, bright and early, for a beautiful morning at Upper Lena Lake. Good night. Good morning. I had a wonderful night's sleep last night. When I woke up early this morning, it was still a ton of cloud coverage, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep sleeping for a little while. And I did, and now I'm awake, sunny out, and we're gonna get up and make some coffee. Morning phases are so funny. Look like a puffy little marshmallow brain. Before I make coffee, just appreciate the absolute mess of my tent right now. Solo backpacking, yard sale, however you want. Let's do this. I'm gonna go grab my bear can. Oh, look at that. Bear can POV. Breakfast, coffee. For breakfast this morning, I'm actually having a Mountain House meal. It's a breakfast skillet, shredded potatoes, scrambled eggs mixed with sausage, peppers, and onions, freeze-dried. I've never had dehydrated eggs. Oh, wait, how this goes. Best by May 2052. I'll probably be dead by then.
This is my pot. It's a pot I've used for a long time. It's the Snow Peak titanium pot. And this is also my mug. What I'm gonna do is actually boil water for my breakfast, dump that in, and then reboil water for my coffee. Look at how weird it looks.
Warm my crotch. Fur of instant coffee. Dude, y'all know I love fur. And we're ready. All right. This is like nothing I've ever seen before.
Dehydrated eggs. It's actually not bad. I'm gonna eat my breakfast, and I'm gonna start packing up my stuff so we can head out of here and get back to the Lena Lake trailhead.
Great. I'm getting ready to pack up my bag. I pulled everything out of my Nemo Dragonfly tent and laid it out on this rock. So basically all I've done is just chucked all my stuff out here so I can see what I have. I can pack it away really easily, and it's just all out of my tent. So the last thing that I have to do really is break down my tent and then just like stick the poles on the side, shove this on top of my pack, and we're all set to go. In my pack right now, I have my pack liner, and then my sleep system, some camera equipment, my socks, food over here. So I'm gonna go in my hip belt pocket, my Garmin InReach, which also goes where I can easily access it. And of course my bear can and my stove are on my pad down there. I've also hung up my sort of DIY gravity filter here to filter some water. This is my CNOC 2-liter bag, Sawyer filter, the connector cap, and then it just filtered a liter of water for me right here. Boom, gravity filter. Let's pack. So before I completely finish packing up my bag, I want to show you the camera equipment that I brought with me and also how it's organized. This is all camera stuff. All in all, this weighs a couple pounds. It's pretty heavy. Strap for the camera that can go around my neck. Rocket pump, which lets me clean dust and debris off of the lens. I have an Anchor power bank, so I can actually use this to charge batteries at night. Then I have my GoPro here that has this screw sticking out of it because this is actually an adapter that goes into my trekking pole, so I can use my trekking pole as a little bit of like a monopod. This is a mini Hartford Gearco bag. And here I have a few things that allow me to change out the mounts for the camera. Right now, the mount that I have on here is for the tripod, but this little mount is for the connector clip on my strap. And also I have a little remote for my phone if I want to take pictures on my phone. This is another Hartford Gearco bag, and this is full of batteries as well as a charger that plugs into the Anchor power bank. This bag has my DJI mics in it. I am wearing one of the mics, but then this is the other one, and then this is a little thing that like lets us know battery life and all that. This bag has our memory cards in it, so all the full memory cards go in that little container, and then I have 2 extra memory cards here. All of this stuff can go into this dry bag, and then that dry bag goes into the brain of my pack. So everything is super secure, also easy to get to. This is the Peak Designs shoulder clip. I will transfer over this camera to a mount that clicks into here that allows it to be really easy to get to on my shoulder when I'm hiking. This is the tripod just sitting over here from when I was filming myself packing up. The next step is to take down my tent. You all actually had a lot of questions about this Nemo Dragonfly OSMO when I used it in my last video. This is only my second time taking this tent out, but I really, really like it. There are a couple of downsides. So let's first start with the things that I love. One of the absolute coolest things that this tent has are these little clips that allow you to roll back the door. So you can like pull the door back. It's like a little toggle. It just really quickly loops through here like that. Oh my gosh. On the inside of the tent, we have tons of pockets. There's one enormous mesh pocket up here where you can just stuff so much stuff. Also a huge mesh pocket at the back. And on either side, you have these little diffuser pockets that I showed you last night. These little phone pockets. Tons of storage in here, tons of space. Also, I am currently sitting up fully and my head is just barely touching the top. Now I said there are some things that I don't like about this tent, and there's really just one big one, and that is that the vestibule requires 2 stakes. At this corner, and you have 1 stake over here. That's really my biggest complaint. Just means there's a lot of stakes necessary if you want to stake everything out. Ta-da! Otherwise, this tent is fantastic. Some bird making a crazy noise over there. I found the source of that funny bird noise. It was a bunch of grouse, a whole family of them. Time to pack up the tent and get the heck out of here. Because my tent is still kind of damp, I'm just folding the dirty underside into it, and then I've just put it on top of my pack, like on the outside of my pack liner. Woo. Okay. So I am finally all packed up and ready to hike out of here. I have a really steep and really muddy descent back to the trailhead, so I'm actually gonna say my goodbyes to all of you now. This is the first time I've ever gone solo backpacking and not had anybody else at the campsite or even seen anyone else, but it wound up being just such an awesome, beautiful night at camp, and ultimately just really appreciated this beautiful site. If you are a hiker who struggles to find people who hike the same pace as you, but you wanna go backpacking, I would say definitely consider a solo trip, or at least consider a semi-solo trip. What I mean by that is that it's totally acceptable to pick a campsite and say to the people that you're hiking with, hey, I'm gonna hike my pace, you hike your pace, and I will meet you up at camp. And we will get the experience of camping together, setting up our site, sharing our stories from the trail, but we will just hike it our own way until we get there. There's a lot of things about backpacking that are empowering, and I think that all just becomes way more apparent when you're doing something solo. So I am going to sign off. I'm going to put away all my stuff and begin the long and muddy descent back to the Lena Lake trailhead. This is my first time filming a solo vlog for this channel. So if you liked this video and you want to see other vlogs, let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't yet, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Right now I'm trying to reach 100,000 subscribers, and I would love it if you were the 100,000th person. With that, I'm gonna hike out of here, and I will see you all outside. Bye.